KQED Newsroom. The Bay Area is home to one of the largest Indian American communities in the country and one of the largest Indian American theater companies, Naatak. It's celebrating its 20th anniversary and putting on an original musical production, Vrindavan. KQED sat in as the company held its final dress rehearsal.
Naatak was founded by myself and a very close friend of mine when we were grad students at Berkeley and Stanford. Most of us grew up in India. Now, with the years passing, we've spent almost half our lives in the United States. So we have two lives, our lives before we came to this country and our lives after. Our theatre company began as an attempt to perhaps live again the lives we left behind. Almost everybody in Naatak is in the technical world. At least 3 out of 4, if not 9 out of 10, are engineers at the usual tech companies.
I have a PhD in electrical engineering from UC San Diego. I work as a data scientist in a cybersecurity firm.
I'm a research scientist at NASA Ames Research Center.
I work in a company called Mobile Iron in software engineering.
Got my master's in electrical engineering, and I work at Apple.
I work as director of marketing for SAP.
I studied computer science and mathematics. I'm now a senior manager at Oracle.
The left brain, right brain division is a myth. I believe that deeply analytical people can bring to bear a kind of precision that will elevate the arts.
I have composed all the songs. The lyrics have all been composed by Sujit, so I started formally learning when I was 8 years old. At the age of 12, I came to be under Pandit Basavaraj Rajguru, who was one of the greatest performers of Hindustani or North Indian classical music.
This is my first time performing in the play. It's been a fantastic experience. Grueling in some aspects because there have been long hours of rehearsal, and rightly so.
There is a city in India named Vrindavan, which happens to be the place where the Lord Krishna spent his late childhood and teenage years. Vrindavan is home to Indian widows who are banished there to spend the rest of their lives loving Krishna. Last year, India saw a watershed election in which a retired Bollywood actress, Hema Malini, became the member of parliament. Hema Malini visited a widow home in Vrindavan. Hema Malini made a very innocent comment that these widows should not come to overcrowded Vrindavan, but would stay in their home state where they come from. Unwittingly, she walked into a left-wing, right-wing quarrel. I imagined a beautiful play in which a woman launches a plan to deport these widows back to Bengal, where they came from. My widows are feisty women who fight back. They do not sit down and bemoan their terrible, terrible lives.
And I was reading up about some of these women. It made me realize that there are a ton of women who are helpless. And that thought in itself makes you want to get up and do something for someone who doesn't have a voice.
When they're faced with such bleakness in their lives, they sort of, rely on each other for comfort. And then there's also this looking inward for joy and exploring this imaginative world. And the dancers are an extension of their imagination. And so in their imagination, they're free. And I think every individual has that within them, and that no one can take away.
Naatak is a labor of love. For the precise reason that it's a labor of love, Naatak is very exacting. It's not a job, you're not getting paid. So if you are also not doing it well, there is no reason to do it.
Actually, I was in high school when I started out, and now I'm in my late 50s, and I'm still doing this, So it keeps my mind agile, it's wonderful. This is my passion.
A lot of people that are involved, they have this intense passion for their art. It's removing yourself from the mundane. That's where the soul comes in.
My name is Naatak Sep. I am from India. I am 78 years old. पूरा इसमें जी डाल देती हूँ.
When I act, I put my entire heart into it, and I become the role that I'm playing, and I felt my soul grows when I act.
This is my de-stressing place, and it's literally when sometimes I would have put in 10 or 11 hours at work, and then I would come to Naatak House, and it's amazing how energized I feel. So in that sense, it's like going home at the end of a really long day and eating mom's comfort food.
Hi, I'm Rayasha, and I'm in 10th grade. And when I grow up, I want to be a doctor, but on the side, I also want to pursue like dance as a side career. So like I had the best of both worlds.
Each of us, we go through our daily lives like workarounds. You know, you get in the car, you drive into work, you go to the gym, you cook, you eat, you go to bed, and then the whole thing rinses and repeats. And I think the ultimate place where we all want to be is the ability to free ourselves from the shackles of mundane life. When you sing, when you dance, you really do give yourself. And you give yourself freely. And you may think, what do you get back in return? And it's universal love.
And in Hinduism, we believe that the noblest way to God is through music. I feel like nothing else in the world matters.
I have the culture of California and Americans, but when I do Indian dance and get involved with other Indian people, I feel more connected to where my parents came from. So whatever my parents passed down to me, I want to pass down the same exact to my children.
The most heartening thing is being able to see the kids. Yes, they're American kids by day, but come Saturday, Sunday, they're immersed in Indian cultural activities. And their level of passion, their talent, their absolute focus and dedication, I have not seen that in kids in India.
I often like to say that we are doing more for Indian culture here in America than the Indians are doing in India. I am very surprised and gratified that Naatak has lasted 20 years. The way things are going now, it looks likely to last forever.
Naatak will be performing Vrindavan through September 27th. You can check out all of KQED's coverage of the arts at kqed.org/fallarts. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Thuy Vu.
Funding for KQED Arts is provided by the William and Flora Hewlett Foundation, Diane B. Wilsey, Helen Sarah Steyer, the William and Gretchen Kimball Fund, and the members of KQED.